Okay, hello, has this started? Okay, hi. So here I am, about to rank the characters of Disventure Camp from Season 1 to Season 4, because the new season of Disventure Camp, Fans vs. Favorites, is coming out really soon, and I want to start reacting to Disventure Camp. Yeah, I'm creating this channel to react to Disventure Camp. It's going to be mostly Disventure Camp. I think it'll just be Disventure Camp reactions. Anyway, I digress. But because I didn't get to react to Disventure Camp content, but trust that I have watched all the seasons and all the spin-offs, so I'm very cultured. Yeah, I'm very deep into the fandom, so yeah. And because some of the characters are returning for season 5, so I just thought it'd be nice to get my character standpoints for all these characters, like, you know, how I feel about them, and you know, so you get a gist of who I'm rooting for or who I'm not rooting for. Yeah. And maybe I'm thinking if I should do a tier list or a prediction for the season 5, I don't know. Or maybe I'll react to their introduction video, because I saw that All Nations uploaded one for each of them. Yeah. So yeah, I've got the cast from season 1 to 4, including the hosts, and I'll be doing a tier list on who my faves are, who I love, who I like, who I'm neutral on, who I dislike, and who I absolutely hate. So yeah, you guys can get a gist of how I feel about these characters, you know, so it's like an introduction to my channel, and yeah, so you can see how I feel about certain characters. Yeah, and because I'm new to this whole thing, I'm not very used to talking to a camera or like to myself, so I'll struggle a lot and stutter and repeat my words. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I'm talking too much again. I'll start off with Will. Okay, Will, I think I'm neutral. I think it's pretty easy to explain because he was obviously first boot. We did get to see some of him on Tom and Jake season 2, but I still feel very neutral about him. We don't get much depth about Will in season 1, because what do you mean you sign up for this and you're scared? Like, it's okay to be scared of things, but you should have known what you signed up for, right? Or maybe not. That's my bad, because this is the first season, you know, there's nothing like it, so fair enough. But yeah, we didn't get much depth from him in season 2, but I'd like that we got to see how he struggled to fit in the barn, you know. Just hope there was more complexity with him, but you know, he stays neutral for now. I don't dislike him or anything, but he's hard to like put up and like and love. But yeah, Drew, okay, this got crazy, but he's definitely one of my faves. I know that because it literally opposes to what I said about Will, but because Drew is also one that got eliminated right after him. Like, he was an early boot as well, but I don't know, he's a man of little words. He's cute. I just like his concept as a character. Like mutism. Yeah, was it mutism? I'm not sure if he's deaf, but he's mute. He writes on his notebook. I think it's really cute, and overall he's just really nice to everybody. He's a chill guy, and I definitely play like Drew, like not really aggressive player, just like observing. I'm definitely an observer. Yeah, that's why I love Drew. I'm sorry, Will, but I think maybe some of these are just biases, that's why I'm so sorry. But let me explain. Faves are people who I really feel a strong connection to. Like, I see a lot of myself in them, that's why they're my faves. And love is, I don't personally feel a connection to them, but I just love them as a character, and their very fun to watch. Yeah, so that's how I differentiate my faves and the characters I love. Nick, oh, I think Nick, I kind of dislike Nick. I want to put him in neutral because I like his alliance with Will, Lil, and Ashley, but he was so not hot-headed, he was like hard-headed, like he was stubborn, he had an ego, he refused to contribute to the alliance, like he's never once voted with his alliance. Like the alliance was so messy, like, dude, and he was so messy for it. Yeah, and like what did you expect? You're out in the woods and he had zero survivalist like personality in him. I'm so sorry. Also really bland besides being stubborn, I guess. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But I don't hate him that's enough to put him in hate because he's not like that. I think he's just dislike. And I don't really feel neutral about him. I do dislike him. Lil, yeah, it's another one neutral. This is so biased because these people were eliminated after Drew, but he's in my faves. I don't know, I just see myself a lot in Drew. I do. He's so likable. I'm not saying these Lil and Will aren't, but just they don't hit me the way Drew does. It's hard to explain, but Lil was nice. She was a good supporting character for Ashley, and it's unfair how she turned Fiora turned Lil against got the team to turn against Lil. It's so unfair. Lil was a good leader for the team actually. She's a good survivalist. Unlike Will and Nick, who aren't really good survivalists, but she's a good like team player, I would say. That's why. But then again, not much depth to Lil. That's why it's hard to put her up in like. So I'm kind of neutral with Lil. Ashley, because she, okay, Ashley, I think I'll put her in love. Yeah, because we get to see her in All Stars, which is good, because I did like Ashley in season 1. Like, if, in season 1, if she was in All Stars, she would be here. Yeah, I like her in season 1 because she's really likable. She's a nice person. She's hard to hate because she's just nice to everyone she's around. She's like the life of the party. I like those kind of like character tropes. Very likable. But she's loved because she definitely gets more growth in season 2, and we get to see her a lot in Tom Jake season 1 and a lot more in season 2 as well. And we get to see that she rebuilds her farm. She's a hard worker, an honest person. I like Ashley for that. Very honest, very kind, very caring, compassionate to people she trusts. So yeah, she's a very loyal ally to Jake. Not even though she may not be the best strategist, but hey, I just like this life of the party, just there for a good time, you know. And she's never salty. She's always in a good mood. I like that about Ashley. Oh, and I'm definitely putting this in specific order. So yeah, from here to here, yeah. This is in specific order. Dan, you know what? Dan was neutral at first when I watched season 1. Like, he didn't stick out to me. I didn't feel much from him, but I don't dislike him at all. Like, he's here, but because he was in the Tom Jake season 2, dude, that shocked me so much. He went straight up here. Like, only because I think I like his new design, and his phone call with Tom is so ridiculous. I fucking love it. When he did that impression, his voice impression is so funny. Yeah, he's a chill dude. I like him. He's really nice as well. And I think out of the guys, he was the only one strategizing actually to make it far. And I'm so sad he didn't get further in the game. And honestly, he was my pick over Ashley in All Stars, because to be fair, he did make it farther than Ashley did, and I was hoping he'd show up in All Stars. Yeah, like as much as I like Ashley, but I think Dan deserved an All Star spot, at least for me, so he gets like more depth, because he was really bland in season 1. At least Ashley had some lore with like her fire trauma, you know, we got some understanding of why she was scared of that. You know, we got some lore from Ashley, but we didn't get much from Dan. But that's why I was glad he was in the Tom Jake season 2. Gabby, I like Gabby. Yeah. Okay, maybe here. Yeah. Why don't I put her in love? I don't know. I think it's because I'm very mellow as a person, and I think Gabby is very hard-hitting. Like, she goes on too strong to others, especially to those she first met. I don't think that's something I can get along with someone. Like, I'm very good at matching like vibes, but because I'm an introvert, I think that will intimidate me a lot. And Gabby, and she just from the get-go like really outgoing, very charismatic, very cheerful, but she's also very like she goes on too strong, you know? Yeah. That's why when I first watched season 1 of Gabby, I was really I didn't like her that much. She was so overwhelming. She was a neutral in season 1. Like, I didn't hate her, I didn't dislike her, but in All Stars, she went up to a like. I didn't really like her gameplay though, because she just did what Ali wanted, and I don't know, a lot of people liked her villain arc. For me, not so much. I didn't like her villain arc as much. I preferred if she became an anti-hero. I didn't like her working with the villains. Sorry, it did not suit her at all. I didn't like it at all. Because, why would you work with Yul? Like, Yul and Gabby working together did not make sense to me. Like, he was just a piece of shit, and Gabby did not stand for anything he did or said. So, like, that never made sense. Like, her eliminating Tess made sense, but then her working with the villains afterwards did not make sense. Like, I did not like that from Gabby. I'm so sorry, guys. But this is my opinion, okay? Feel free to disagree, but please be nice, okay? Please be nice. I'm aware that, you know, Gabby might be a fan favorite, and a lot of people like Gabby. Some may not, but she's a like for me, you know? But I do like her a lot in the Tom Jake spin-off, especially season 2. She was such a good supporting character and a good friend to Tom. Like, I really love that. I think it boosted like her from a neutral to like because of this Tom Jake and All Stars. Yeah. Actually, no, she's unlike because of Tom Jake. I didn't like her as much in All Stars. I'm so sorry. But she was a good friend to Gret. I like that. I like that a lot. Gret, I think she's alike as well. Just after Gabby? No, after Gabby, yeah. Because she was a dislike in season 1 for me. She was a dislike. But All Stars, because she was a piece of shit. She was so mean and she was so rude to Gabby. Like, what? She was so aloof, bro. And she was just cold, but she was a good player. I would say she played the game really well, and she played to win, unlike some people. Jake, I'm so sorry, I have strong opinions on Jake, which I will get to later. But I liked her a lot from from like the later part of All Stars, and she was so good in the Tom Jake series. She was so good. I love that she had that career path for her. Like, her future was so good. But yeah, I think she would have been lovelier, but then because I don't know, she made it far in season 1, and I didn't like how she was in season 1. I'm a firm believer of you always have a choice. So like, no matter how hard your past was or how difficult your upbringing was, you always have a choice to make. And if you choose to be a piece of shit to others just because you have a difficult past, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make it right. You always have a choice. That's why, like, I mean, like, all these characters have like lore and like stories and like what they went through in the past, and many of them didn't have like an easy upbringing and some of them traumatic even, but you know, some of them had made their own choice, and some of them like better than others. That's why they are like in my faves, okay? Because I just like the people they become, you know, from their past. Yeah. Okay, Tom is a love up here. I love Tom. I think this is a little bit controversial because I think Tom, as much as Tom is a fan favorite and like really popular in the franchise, especially because he has his own spin-off series like Hello, he's also one of those I think is in the hate, would be in the hate like section or dislike, because screen hog or like I don't know, whatever reasons they have, but I can see why he gets disliked and hated. But for me, I love him. But I didn't understand how he became such a himbo, especially in the Tom Jake series, because in season 1 he was a really good, okay, not, it's really good in overstatement, I'm not sure, but he was really focused in his spy work. He was there for a mission, and I like that like story with him. His spy story is really nice, and he was so mature. He's always willing to talk it out with Jake despite like their turbulence, and he's really reassuring, you know, if despite like how he was, you know, raised, like how he grew up, you know, like we got to see his lore, and he's had really good growth, you know, with how he became the person who he is. You know, I think we've seen some of us have seen the Tom Jake season 2 and he's passed, and I just love how he grew into this person because he didn't have it easy before. So it's because of the choices he made, and he decided to be like a good person for the people he cared about, you know. I like that he shifted to being a good person. Yeah, and I'm glad he fixed things with his brother Tony. Like I love that. Like he made amends. He's always that person to want to make amends for people who he care about. Jake, I'm sorry, I don't want to ramble about Jake because I don't think he deserves my time, but I know this is controversial because some people will put Jake here or even here, but for me, I'm so sorry guys, but Jake is someone I had a headache watching him. I think a lot of people can agree with me on this. Some will disagree. Yeah, I can see why. But please respect my opinion when I say I hate Jake, because he took a really long time to grow. Like I thought he got better in Tom Jake, but he always finds a way to find problems with people. Like if you watch Tom Jake season 2, there's a scene, the campfire scenes, I think it was episode 2, this season 2 episode 2 of Tom Jake, where he was talking to Gret, and Gret was asking him a question. I don't remember what, but then he just blew up at her for no reason at all. I was so confused why. Gret was just genuinely curious. She was just trying to catch up. She was being nice, you know, she was being polite. I don't know what Jake's problem was. Like, dude, he's making his problems everyone's problems. Like, it's so irritating, dude. Like, it's giving me a headache. And I don't even know why he signed up for this Disventure camp. Like, he's the least strategic person. He plays with his heart, not his mind, and it sabotages his own game and his own allies' game. Like, I don't even know how he made it for an All-Stars. Dude, he got all his allies eliminated. Like, really? Voting off James was so petty, dude. And he's so petty, he got Ashley eliminated. And trust me, I wasn't even rooting for Ashley to win, but that elimination was so unfair. Like, all they had to do was work together, dude. Oh my god, Jake needs to get it together. Like, he needs to learn when to put his emotions aside and learn when to play the game. Like, I get why he is the way he is because of how he was raised or how he was brought up, but I think there's a time and place for things, and like I said, you always have a choice to make, and I don't like the choices he make. Okay, that's why he's in here. I hope I made it very clear. Okay, Alec, I love Alec. Okay, he's the opposite of Jake. He's all strategy, and he isn't a very emotional player. He knows how to put his feelings aside, and I like that we see some softness in him when he felt betrayed by Fiora in season 1, you know. And I like how he's softened. He's soft. I don't know. I just like his chemistry with Connor. Like, he softened up to him. That's not the word. Sorry. He opened up to him. Like, we don't see that much. Like, he never opens up with anyone else. Not even to Fiore, I think. But I think he had like a good man-to-man talk with Connor. I think that's what he really needed. Someone who understood him, who understood his problems. And I think Connor was the good person for him. I love their chemistry a lot. And I do hope that Alec does make it far, because I think he has a lot to offer with his strategic gameplays, and I want to see how it's being played out in season 5. I do hope he makes it far, at least merge. Like, early merge boot, I would be quite satisfied. Okay, yeah. He's really strategic. Like, his elimination, not his elimination, the elimination trial where in season 1 where they got Tom out, his when he worked with Fiore, it was so smart. It was so good. The best elimination ever. It's my favorite. It's so good. Ellie, love. I think she'd be right behind Alec. Let me think about this. Yeah. No, yeah. Okay, let me change this. Ashley would be here. Alec would be here. No, Allie would be here. Yeah. Okay. I think season 1 Allie is my favorite Allie. I like introverts. Like, she stood out to me because she was so introverted. I love introverts a lot. And I'm sorry, I love her because of how she stood up to Jake. Like, I think Jake needed to hear those words. Like, at the cave. Yeah, at the cave, at the final 5. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But I love that she stood up to Jake. And I think that's the beginning of her somewhat villain arc. But I think she was more of a morally great character, I would say. She's an anti-hero. I don't think she suits the villain role. Like, I think in All Stars they tried to make her a villain by, you know, doing those interviews where she was like talking shit about her competitors, because she was not like that in season 1. I feel like they had to include something so that she seemed villainy, but I never saw her in that way. Like, I stood by every choice she made in the game so that she could get further. You know, I know those choices were never ideal, but that's how you play the game. And at least she's not like Jake, where he played emotionally, but she played more strategically, even though some of those were not ideal. But those moves are moves that I do not mind, you know? Play it messy a little bit. Aldi will do anything to win. Yeah. Fiore, love. I think just after Tom, yeah. Fiore is amazing. Like, dude, she's hilarious. She's a good villain, a good comedic relief. Like, she owned all these adults. Like, what do you mean you get manipulated by a 6-year-old in season 1? Dude, she played all these adults. Even Alec, bro. Like, telling him off, what makes you surprised, dude? I'd have a better chance at winning in the finale against Ellie and Miriam. Dude, like, Alec should have known that himself. He shouldn't have been surprised. If I was Alec, I wouldn't be surprised. I knew among the 4, I'd be the one that's most likely to go, honestly. Like, Fiore is so smart. Like, I think her smarts are so underrated. Like, no one gives her enough credit for that, I feel. Like, she's really smart for her age and really mature as well. And I love her, especially in All Stars, with her chemistry with Alec, where we see a very soft side to her. You know, because in season 1 she was just very harsh and very brutal, and then playing the game so aggressively. You know, I was like, it's a little bit scary for a girl her age, but I love to see that she still have some softness in her. You know, that's really nice. And I can't wait to see her in season 5. Okay, I don't know what her placement will be, because it feels like she could be a pre-merge boot. But if she does make it emerge, I know for a fact, okay, not know for a fact, I'm very confident she can make it to the finale again. Hot take, but yes, because, like, let's think about this. If she does make it emerge, I don't think anyone would want to, like, eliminate her. I think everyone would want Fiore to be in the finale. Think about it, like, she's not a comp threat at all, but she's good at creating, like, mess, like, being a chaotic player and, like, tampering with people's alliances, breaking up bonds. She's good at those, causing havoc. We love that. That's where she, like, thrives. So if she does make it merge in the season 5 fans versus favorites, I can actually potentially see her making it finale again, because I think they would want her. The only way I think she'd be eliminated in the merge is if she gets backstabbed, or there's an idol play at hand or something like that, and then she gets, like, the vote, But I'd love to see Fiore make it far again. I definitely would. Miriam is I like Miriam. Maybe, yeah, before Gabby. Yeah. Nothing much to say about Miriam. She's really wise, obviously. Honestly, Miriam's the best person to, like, be like a parental figure for Jake, because she's obviously really old and really wise. Like, Jake needs to, like, listen to Miriam a lot more. And to be honest, Jake isn't so hard to watch when he's, like, having conversations with Miriam. Those are the conversations that I love the most. It's like his conversations with Miriam. Dude, I cried so bad. Like, I actually cried so bad. I had to pause because in this Tom Jake season 2, like, like, just before the wedding, like, Miriam came to check in on Jake as he was getting dressed or something, getting ready. That conversation was so emotional. I cried so bad, dude. And, like, those are the scenes where I can actually, like, Jake is watchable, like, he's tolerable. Like, I like to see that side of Jake, like, his conversations with Miriam. How he struggles to find family, and Miriam is his found family. I love those scenes. But on his own and with Tom, I know, like, the person he becomes because of the choices he makes. Just, like, the choices he makes, yeah, on what he would do, on what he would say. I think he needs to think a little bit more before he acts on something and does something. You're a grown man, Jake. Think for yourself. Think for yourself, Jake. Jesus Christ. Like, people baby him too much because he's gone through what he's gone through, but they all did. Okay, what's excusing Jake's poor behavior, dude? You're a grown man, dude. Even Fiore has gone through shit from her family, and she doesn't make it people's problem, like. Gosh. Okay. Anyways, Oliver. I think most of these early boots would end up in neutral, but I think because Oliver comes back for another season and he has more episodes and more screen time, I think he's above Will and Lil. Okay, no. Yeah, okay. I think Will would be right here. Yeah, that seems right, yeah. To be honest, I think Oliver has traits where it's very difficult to dislike or hate him, but also very difficult to like him, because, well, he's really likable. Like, he's a very good friend to Crystal. He supports Crystal despite how, like, she's really hard on him, like, pushes him around, at least in the beginning of, like, season 2. But he's always been a very supporting friend to Crystal, always looks out for her. He's really likable, always supports her whenever she needs him. Like, he's very friendly, very helpful. Like, he's very helpful. And he played a clean game for the short time he's been there. He hasn't done anything morally questionable, but maybe because he lacks depth and story, I think that's why he's in neutral. Otherwise, he'd be like, if we get to know more about why Oliver is the way he is, then maybe he might be in, like, because I watched the staff stories, I know much development from Oliver, so that's why he stays neutral. But he will never be in here because he's very difficult to dislike. You know, he's just an overall chill guy. He's a really nice guy. Carol, I'm not sure. Okay, in the beta, she's in dislike or hate, but the rework, dude, she's gotten a lot better. I think I'm putting her in neutral. Maybe just after Lil. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but really, I'm so sorry. I can't. Okay, Carol is a strategic person. She's also a comp threat. She's really physically strong, very capable, and she doesn't let people get in the way of her game. And I'm just sad her positioning, her standing in the game was really unfortunate because everyone in that team, in the orange team, were so orange team. They were so goody with each other. Like Maggie, Rosa, and Lake, they were so goody with each other. But I do like their dynamic. And then it leaves James and Aiden, and because of that, it leaves Carol in a very bad spot. But if she was in the other team, she would have dominated that team alongside you. You know, she would have been like a force to be reckoned with. You know, she'd be a force. I don't even know what I'm saying, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry, forgive me. I'm not used to like speaking to a camera. And I hope my pace is okay. But yeah, Carol, I love her that she can speak to animals. Like, she's an animal spirit. That's a very admirable trait for me. Like, I relate to that a lot, where you don't see the joy in like talking to other humans, but you see a lot more comfort and joy in speaking to animals and just talking to them. I relate to that in some degree, but she's difficult to like because she's too aggressive. Yeah, if you can see, I'm not a big fan of those more aggressive players unless they're funny, like Fiore, and like they have more like, you know, depth. I actually do hope we get to see more of like Fiore's like lore and development, like maybe her parents or something, or her upbringing, like what it's like, you know. I'm curious, but anyways, I digress. Yeah, I think to defend them, I might be a little bit boring because I tend to favor the nicer characters, the characters who are really nice, the heroes, as you can call it. Yeah, I tend to lean to those characters more, unless I really like your like development in lore, because I know Alec is more questionable, but I think my faves will definitely be those who are like the nicer people, the heroes. I don't think you'll see any of those villains and faves at all. Kai, I love Kai. Is that crazy? Because considering he was an early boot, like a third boot from season 2, it's crazy he's in love, because I like those I love character tropes like Kai. You know, in Total Drama you have Z. I love those Zen guy character tropes. They're so hard. I don't know, but for me they're hard to dislike because they're so nice with everyone and they're so peaceful, and I think unlike everyone else, Kai is the only person who is comfortable with himself. He is very content with himself. He finds inner peace, which I think a lot of these people need. Honestly, all of these characters are very turbulent. Like Ashley and Kai, oh, they're so chill. Like, I love how chill Kai is, and he stands up to Maggie. He knows when not to like, he knows when to stand up for his friends or the people he care about. You know, despite how he's seen as like a very chill, calm guy, but he knows when to assert dominance against aggressors. You know, because Yall is a piece of shit like all the time, but he knows exactly when to step in because otherwise he'd like take a step back and just like be himself, like calm. And that's what I like about Kai. I wish I have a friend like Kai, dude. Connor, ooh, okay, Connor, I'm not sure. He's either in neutral. Okay, in season 1 he's in neutral, but because we get to see some development from him, he'd be in like. But where exactly? I think after grad. Yeah, there seems fine. It took him way too long. I'm sorry, like way too long to leave Ria's side. Like Ria's made it clear so many times. Like from the start, since episode 4, the diving challenge. I think that was episode 4. Was it 3? Episode 3. Yeah, the diving challenge. Ria was very honest from the start. Okay, and she's made it clear, like even after that, that she didn't want to work with him and she needed that space and distance. And I don't know why Connor just didn't give that to her. Even after he came back from the comebacks, like he was still trying to pursue her or like hopefully change her mind. But dude, I think he's seen how like lost of a cause Ria is, and that she's here to win, even if it means like questionable plays, you know. Connor just didn't get it. He didn't get it. For his age, I thought he'd seen it sooner. You know, like Miriam would not let that slide. Like she would know. Like Miriam would not let that happen. Like at all. Like she'd back the fuck out. Like Connor, I think you have a lot to learn from Miriam. Dude, Miriam would not stand for that. That's why she's a queen. Maggie, oh, love Maggie. Yeah, I love Maggie. Which is crazy because in the beta, she'd be down here. Like, she'd be down here. Like, she was someone I did not care for as much. Because she was so bland. She felt like just a placement character. Just to fill the character pool. But she's got, I think out of all the season 2 cast, she's gotten the best improvement in like writing and development. Like, I love Maggie. You know, I was so close to putting her here. But yeah, the only reason why she's not in phase is because I don't think I'm someone that can like stand up against an aggressor. I'm not that brave, I'm sorry. But that's why I love her. She's so admirable. She's so admirable, dude. Coming from someone who is very timid, and in the short time she's in season 2, her growth, like she grew very fast. And I like her dynamic, especially with Hunter. Dude, it's like Maggie and Hunter is like when Shy, being Maggie, meets socially awkward, which is Hunter. I love those tropes because I think growing up I was a mixture of Maggie and Hunter. Like, I think that's the best way to describe me. I'm not good with like socializing with people, and I'm really closed off, very shy. Like Maggie in the first episode, like you'd want to make friends, but for some reason you just cannot approach them and you can't open your mouth. I was such a wallflower, like I really was. And that's her character trope, she was the wallflower. I think I have like selective mutism as well. Like for some reason I could never open my mouth in school, especially during presentations or when I'm supposed to speak and answer the teacher. For some reason I could never speak. And like when I do speak, I'm like barely heard. I feel like sometimes I'm just opening my mouth and nothing comes out, like no sound comes out. Dude, it's so bad. Like I can't talk. But now obviously it's gotten a lot better. But I feel like there's still room for improvement. As you can tell, I stutter a lot and I have difficulty expressing myself and what to say. But I'm gonna improve it. But I think I've come a long way. That's why I love Maggie. I love Maggie. You'll like, come on. Do you need an explanation? Yeah, I think Jake would be in front of you because Yul is a piece of shit all year round, the whole time. Like, he's never a decent human being, dude. I thought we'd get like a decent Yul in All Stars with his scene with James in the Losers Motel, but he's a lost cause, dude. Like, do we need to say? But I know some people definitely put him in love, like because he's funny or whatever. Don't get me wrong, he actually is funny, but he's the kind of funny that's really hard to like. No matter what, at the end of the day, I would still hate you. Yeah, pretty simple. Tess, here. Favorite. She was my favorite in All Stars. Yeah, in All Stars, she was the person I was rooting for to win. Dude! Maybe that's why it's a little bit biased that I put Gabby here in like, because she was the cause of Tess's elimination. But I do not hate Gabby for it because I like that anti-hero trope from her. Okay, that anti-hero trope suits her so much because I get what she means when she said, how do you not take it as a personal attack when they voted her girlfriend, you know, because it's literally her against the rest of the team. So I can see where she's coming from. But I also can see where Tess is coming from. So like, this is a hot take because people think like Tess should have worked with Gabby and Ellie, and Ellie really needed that money, like as her friend. I think she should have helped her get farther. But I can see why she did what she did because I think Ellie was losing herself, dude. Like, the game does a lot to Ellie because, like I said, Ellie would do anything to win. And I think because of that, she started to lose herself. And I started to, like, not see much of the season 1 Ellie anymore. And that's why I liked Ellie. You know, the very chill girl, like, you know, the one that Tess, the reason why Tess became friends with her in the first place was because she liked the chill side of Ellie. And she was no poser, she was always real. Yeah. And I liked her growth as well. Like her growth from season 2 to All Stars. So good. Like, she was always trying to fight for her happiness, and I see that's why she's a fave, because I see a lot of myself in Tess, very closed off with people. Yeah, finding it very hard to connect with people at the start. Like, you know, I'd have like difficulty in like trusting them, opening up to them, and then slowly you find your people and you like ease up on them. You know, I really love her dynamic with Hunter and Allie, like that trio. I think the trio is my favorite of the entire franchise. Just putting it out there right now, the Tess, Hunter, Allie trio is my favorite like trio ever. Like character dynamics. They seem very like, their chemistry feels so easy, dude. Like, oh, I cannot shut up about these three. But yeah, anyways, Tess was my favorite. Need I say more? I don't know. Lake, love. Dude, I don't know if anyone keeps it. If I have any more things to say about Tess, because as a favorite, I feel like it was kind of short. But yeah, she was, considering how she was very like cold in season 1, it's surprising that she had a very clean game. Hunter, Tess, and Ellie all had a clean game. Even in All Stars, considering she somewhat make it, not that far. She was like the last pre-merger, but she had a really, okay, can I say clean game? Maybe not, because she did vote her friend off. But she's like Lake, she stayed very true to her morals. She stayed very true to herself, and that's why I'm putting Lake in love as well. Like, I love Lake. I love her development, her growth, her stories. Like, I think I want to put Lake in love. Do I? I mean, I want to put her in faves, but do I? I'm not sure. Because, to be fair, I do relate to Lake to a huge extent. Especially when, like, in season 1, Lake, where she lets people, like, her parents walk all over her. You know, I grew up with, like, letting my parents walk all over me, and they decide things for me. They speak on my behalf. They don't let me have my own opinions. Oh, that's crazy lord joke. Okay, I didn't mean to digress. But I relate to those, and, like, Lake has a hard time standing up for herself. But she does eventually, season 2, where she stood up to Crystal and even to Yall, and then she became like such a very competitive player. I think that's where I start to like not relate to Lake, but that's what's admirable about her. Like, that's what I admire about Lake. She's a very fierce competitor, despite being, you know, very, what's that word? very timid from this. Not timid, but like passive. She seemed very passive, but then later on she seemed very aggressive. That's why I feel like she was so robbed in All Stars. I think many of us thought she'd like really take it all. Like she'd really take it all in All Stars. Like she'd make it far. That's why in season 5, I need her to make it far. Hopefully, finale. But I wouldn't be upset if she'd get voted off early merge or late merge. I wouldn't mind as long as she makes it merge. She needs to make it far, dude. I think her eliminations were so unfair. Her 2 eliminations were so unfair. Like she had a lot more to offer. Like because you see, she's a fierce competitor, but she barely got to showcase any of it. Like she was a fierce competitor in the first merge challenge, and she's already voted off. And she was a second boot. Like, dude, Lake would have destroyed all these people. Like, I want to see her actually play the game. Like those challengers, I want to see her play. Ellie, this is very controversial because Ellie is a very controversial character in. I know she's very controversial because the fandom is very divided on Ellie. Like some people will put her here, some here, some don't even care about her. But like I said, the Huntress Ellie trio goes up here, and that's because I have a good explanation for this. But I think people will still disagree, and it's fair. But this is a personal opinion and very biased because I think Ellie is someone who is very misunderstood. And people are going to say the same thing about Jake, but hear me out. Ellie, I liked Ellie in her season, like season 2. She was very chill, like she admits she didn't play much, and to be fair, she barely did. She was constantly on her Nintendo Switch, which I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you signed up to play Disventure camp, and she was really passive. And when she did play, it was only to survive, and she didn't take up the aggressor role. She just went with the flow, and that's what got her eliminated because her time was running out. If she wasn't gonna make moves, she was gonna put that out. Like Ellie wasn't making much moves, so she was just trying to like get people to work her alongside her, but it never really worked out, you know, because she didn't really branch out to people. She only stood by her like circle, like being Tess and Hunter. Like Tess and Ellie were very passive in their season 2. They only stuck by their own circle and didn't really branch out, and I think that's why they were like early boots. Not early boots, I'm so sorry. Like that's why Hunter made it further than these two. But I like Ellie because I think I relate to her in the sense that I tend to compare myself to people and like doubt my self-worth and base my self-worth on like what others think of me, you know, because I don't know, I just always grew up with like having no friends or like having little friends. So when I do have friends, I always care about what they think about me because I'd want to have friends I'd always wanted to have friends that were always by my side, and it didn't matter what kind of person I was as long as they liked having me around. And that's why I always like bend my back for people, like, you know, so that I'll do anything so that I'm likable, you know. And I think that's what kind of Ellie is. Like, always wondered why she was never likable, and like I relate to that a lot. Like, she had all these haters, like these trolls, bro. Like, why would they troll? Like, why are they hating Ellie? In season 2 was all she was is cringe, and that's fine. Like, I love the nerds a lot. I'm really nerdy. Oh, dude. But the reason why I think in All Stars she would be like in love, but I think I still put her in faith because the cause of her derailment was because of her association with Jake. Dude, I wished Jake and Allie were never placed in the same team because those two were like the most hated of the entire fandom. Maybe Rhea even, those three. The final 3 was like really hated by the fandom. But I guess but that's why I was really glad that she made it far to the finale, because she was really bland in season 2. She had nothing much to offer. We didn't get much writing from her, but we got to see more complexity with Ellie. And this one scene she had with Gret, where we get to see where people's like problems are being weighed, and like Gret talks about her appearance and how people mocks her and hoping she dies because, you know, she was fat, like overweight, like, and those problems are really heavy. Like, you know, people like Ellie would never know what it's like, and it's really difficult for Gret because no one understands where she was from. Like, you know, being cursed to die, being sent death threats is crazy. But that's why it's so. Ellie is a very real character. Like, she seems very human. Is what Ellie feels like. Like, to her problems feel real. To her problems are real. Like, it feels really heavy for her. But just because it's heavy for her, like, it doesn't mean she thinks Gret's isn't as well, you know? Like, I think that's where Gret misunderstands, because we shouldn't be comparing our problems, bro. Like, what's really heavy for you is really valid. Like, you're valid to your own problems. Like, we shouldn't weigh people's problems, dude. Like, what's difficult for Ellie is difficult for Ellie. What's difficult for Gret is difficult for Gret. That's why I think people should not do that. That's why I like Ellie. Like, people tend to compare my problems with theirs and saying like how theirs is more difficult, but my struggles matter too, dude. Like, my feelings matter, and so does theirs. I'm not saying because mine is this, I'm not saying yours doesn't matter, dude. It matters as equally as mine. We shouldn't weigh problems, and that's why I like Ellie. She feels so real. Rosa Maria, love. I think here, yeah. Obviously, she didn't return for All Stars, but she was a very good supporting character for Lake and Rhea. She's so motherly, she's so compassionate, so kind, but also know when to draw the line. That's what I like about Rosa. And she always does the right thing. Like, it's very difficult to hate Rosa. But obviously, she's not in faves because I don't feel emotionally drawn to her, but I do love her character, her development, and I hope to see more writing from her in season 5, because I feel like she still has a lot to offer, and I feel like she can do a lot more in season 5. I'd love to see her get far, hopefully merge. I'd love to see Rosa and Maria get merge. Yeah, Rhea's betrayal for Rosa was so unfair, dude, but it was a good betrayal. Like, it was good content. It makes for good TV, so. But yeah, I think Rosa's one of those characters that's very difficult to hate. Are there like Rosa haters out there? Like, do people hate Rosa? Like, I'd understand if people find her neutral, but I wouldn't understand why people would hate Rosa, dude. Like, what? Yeah, nothing much to say. I just do hope we get to see more of her. Like, I want to see her and Lake make merge. Like, I do. Oh, same as Allie. I didn't talk about Allie in season 5, but I do hope she's merged. I wouldn't be upset if she was early merged, but I'd love to see her get some redemption, because I'm really upset. Like, it makes me so sad that she's really hated. As much as she's also loved, she's equally also as hated in the fandom, and I'd love for the fandom to change their mind about Ellie. I do. I hope they see what I see in Ellie, and she gets some like development in fans versus favorites. And I saw that she might have she'd be a duo with Benji, and I'd love that, because Benji would be up here as well, but we'll get to that. And I'd love her to tone it down a little bit more, but still play the game. Like, not be such an aggressive player, but more of a strategic player, you know? And she's also kind of like a comp threat, so I'd love to see more of that from Ellie. Like, make it far and get some redemption finally, please. I hope the fandom forgives her for like season 3 All Stars, dude. Like, that was so bad, dude. Please. Hunter, best character so far in the entire franchise. My number one, my favorite. But in All Stars, because he didn't make it far, he'd be like behind Tess. But in totality, overall, he's my favorite. And I see a lot of myself in Hunter. So, like, okay, in the remake, he'd still be my favorite, but he'd be like here or here. But his remake did him so well. I didn't like his writing in the beta. Like, that felt like such was it a self-insert? Like, that was so weird. Like, his character was so weird, dude. Like, what? The love triangle did not make sense to me. But honestly, I'd love to see a Hunter, Tess, and Ellie love triangle done right. Like, I need to see it done right. But I don't mind the friendship that they have going on for them. It's really nice as well. I love Hunter. Like, I feel like I talk like Hunter. I feel like in season 1 he was so awkward, and then and I know he means well, but what comes out of his mouth is so awkward, and people see it as like, what? This dude is so weird, dude. Like, I love Hunter, dude. I can't shut up. Like, him being a gamer, but like a single player gamer. Like, dude, that's so dorky. I fucking love him. But to be honest, I don't really like his fandom. They're so weird, dude. Like, oh my god, I can't. Every time I see the Hunter fandom, I cringe a little bit. I die inside. Why can't we just have like chill Hunter fans? Oh, but to be honest, I did prefer him being in season 5 over Ellie. Like, trust me. Okay, see, the three of them are my favorites, but he was robbed in All Stars because of Jake. Fucking Jake, dude. Like, rather they like eliminated Fury and like just have a tiebreaker, you know, with Hunter, Ellie, and Ashley, Jake. Like, dude, that'd be so much better. Because the Jake and Ellie beef, like, was so bad. Like, Hunter needed to mediate that. Like, what? But I prefer him over Ellie in season 5 because I feel like he has untapped potential with development, I'd say. Yeah, a little bit more, because we didn't see much of it in All Stars, but we did see a lot of it in season 2. But I'd love to see him grow from it, like his growth. Yeah, his growth. Yeah. But okay, I'm gonna talk about the Hunter, Tess, and Ellie trio. They're my favorite. Only within the three of them. Like, I love their circle because in season 2, like, especially in the beta, what I like is that they were very close off, and I like how they only looked out for each other when no one else was there for them, and surprisingly made it all the way to merge because of Yall. Like, Yall was their shield. Like, dude, what? Yall kept them safe. Yall was the aggressor, and these three were like so chill. And then Hunter was like kind of like making moves already, like planning moves, but he's really strategic, and he's a comm threat too. I love him. A strategic comm threat is dangerous. Hunter would have demolished the players in fans versus favorites. But yeah, I love these three because their chemistry, they work so well together in the remake especially. But even in the beta, sometimes they made sense because they looked out for one another, especially Hunter. He looked out for his friends, and Tess eased up on these two, and Ellie trusted these two. Like, they were so chill together, dude. The cave scene in the remake, dude, I cried in that one. Like, their chemistry feels so easy. I like those, you know, where from the get-go you just had like a connection, and boom, I love those. Aiden, okay, Aiden is the mascot for Disventure Camp. I think Aiden's the reason how most of us found out about Disventure Camp. But I'm sorry, he's a like for me. Maybe, yeah. I don't know, I don't really love Aiden the way the fandom does. Maybe because I think he's overrated. Sorry, but I can see why he's loved. He deserved to be loved by the fandom because I loved Aiden when I first discovered him. I think he would be up here when I first watched Disventure Camp, like the beta season 2. He was up here, but I think he was such a screen hog, dude. I think he had nothing much to offer. If anything, I think Aiden deserves development, like more writing. Like he needs more depth because he's like. I think the reason why I only like him is because he's a screen hog with little to no depth. Like we can see, like he said he has like scared to pursue romance in the past because he's transgender, but he's never really tapped into that. Like I wish we tapped into that, or like tap into how he became a fan of the show and all that. Like he seems very shallow for a person that has a lot of screen time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like if he had more development, like Tom's development and writing, then he'd be in love. But he'd be in the love section category. But like, am I the only one that feels that? Like because in season 2, where like he felt betrayed by the final 4, where James was finally exposed to, where Rhea finally exposed James to Aiden, and he reacted very strongly about it. But I didn't understand, like, okay, no, I understood because James did lie to him many times, but he reacted way too strongly, like as if like this always happens to him. But like that's why I mean, like, I want to know why, like what has happened to him that made him so like vulnerable to these things, like where his trust gets broken. Like like the writers don't tap into that, dude. Even in All Stars, like, am I tripping? Like he and James need a spin-off. I'm so sorry. Like, why does Jake have one? Dude, if anything, Aiden is like, Aiden's robbed, dude, of like writing, proper writing, I feel. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. Please don't hate me. I know some of you want to put in love, but yeah. And also because I'm really salty of like how he lashed out at Hunter, because what is his problem with Hunter, dude? Like what? Like he did nothing. What? If anything, Rhea was the one who who tried to get in his head, and James was the one who lied to him. What did Hunter do? Like if anything, he seemed more pissed at Hunter than he did at James. Like he was just pure. It was pure fury, pure anger at Hunter. And for James, he felt like mixed feelings, like anger, sadness, betrayal. For her, it's pure anger. Like what the fuck, dude? He seemed like a 10-year-old with anger issues. I'm so sorry. But that's why I want to know why he had those kind of like anger. Like, it's like we see that, but we don't know why he's like that, and it just makes me so frustrated. Like, can you not, dude? Hunter is the only one that's willing to work with you, and he had the cleanest game. I don't know why you're upset at him. Ugh, I can't shut up about it. Like, it pissed me off. I'm so sorry. Dude, I'm so sorry. Like I said, just because someone treats you like shit doesn't give you the excuse to treat others like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did not have the right to be lashing out at Hunter. Like, he was doing way too much for that. If it was towards James and Rhea, I'd understand. Like, the crash out would be valid. But he did not once. Okay, maybe he did lash out at Rhea, but he lashed out. Like, Hunter was the one that's catching the most strays. Like, it never made sense to me, dude. Rhea, in All Stars, she was right here, but I think I might put her neutral. Yeah, in All Stars, I liked Rhea. The complexity of her character and how she adjusts to survive, adjusts her character, her personality to like survive the harshness of the game. Yeah. But I think All Stars, Oh, she was so bad. I can't. Like, she was way too aggressive. Mind you, she literally broke Connor's leg. And for what, dude? He was your only ally. Like, he was your most loyal ally. I think that was such a stupid move from Rhea because she had all the numbers. Like, she had the Villains Alliance and Connor when he came back. I don't know, man. She could have, like, really be, like, really good if she had worked both sides. And I didn't really like her villain arc in season 2 as much. Like, in season 3, even though it was like, she was so mean and so aggressive and so rude, the villain arc in season 3 made a lot more sense. But in season 2, I prefer her to be the anti-hero, where she, like, her choices were, like, questionable. You know, it's like what the fuck, Rhea? Like, you know, it's not very villainy, but it's like, what the fuck, questionable, like morally gray. She seemed like it suited her very well because she's just trying to figure out her footing in the game. You know, that's what she was always, like, trying to figure out, because she was always in the outs. Like, she was always alone and she was trying to figure out her footing. So that's why she had to make questionable moves. Like, the villain arc was so not for her, man. Like, she seemed like a very great character, and I really wished she stayed that way. But I guess she was the aggressive villain in season 3. Like, dude, she was like the most aggressive villain, dude. Maybe right beside Yule, but Yule's just like a dick, dude. He was just a dick. James, I think I like James because I think, unlike Aiden, he's got proper story writing with, like, how he grew up with no friends, and, like, his only friend is his sister. That's why he depends on, like, social media, because he, to, like, you know, feel like he's worth something. See, that's what I mean. You get, like, a story on, like, what your past makes you become, like those kind of things, and I understand why you are the way you are. But Aiden, I don't understand why he is the way he is. Like, they never really dived into Aiden's character, and that's why he's very hard to put into love. He would be if, you know, we get to understand why he is the way he is. James, he was neutral from, like, in season 2, at the start of season 2. Especially, no, I liked him a lot in the beta, actually. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I do. But he was so good. He'd be in love if he made it further in All Stars, but because he won season 2, it made sense why he was the first beat. I like him. I like James. I'm James Costa. Famous, fabulous, and fucking out of here. That's my favorite line. Do I want to put him low for that? Yeah, I do. Dude, when I heard that line, I was so blown away. I was like, what the fuck? That was so genius, dude. And his delivery was so good. So good. Okay, I think for that he's in love. I do love James. How he would... I like his conversation with Yule in All Stars at the Losers Motel and at the comeback challenges. So good. He's the only one who can, like, get through Yule, I feel like. Out of everyone, I think James is the only one who could potentially get through to Yule, because they're, like, social media influencers, or, like, they're popular online. So they have, like, similar experiences, you know? So I feel like because they have shared experiences, I feel like James could really, like, help Yule come out of, like, that dark place, you know? Like, teach him the way of James, you know? I don't know, but, you know, that's why I love him. But I think that's why he realized Yule was a lost cause, so he kind of just, you know, gave up. Okay, so that's the season 1, season 2 cast. Do I want to make arrangements here? No. Yeah, I think I'm quite satisfied with this. Alessio. I love Alessio. He was such a good first boot. Where would I put him, though? Yeah, that's about right. I love Alessio. He is the best first boot Total Drama has ever made. Like, he's charming. I love his chemistry with Natalia. Like, it was so unexpected, but ever since the comeback challenges, I was like, wait, something could be really sparky here. And like, why didn't we see this before? Like, from the start. I also like his short-lived chemistry with Logan. We didn't see much of that during the finale. So I was like, what was that? That didn't make sense. I think his chemistry with Natalia made more sense than his chemistry with Logan. Yeah. And you see what I mean? Like, even with Alessio, he had better development and writing than Aiden. Like, we got to see how he was brought up, like the kind of family he was like raised in. You know, like in the island episode. What was the episode? Like the one where we got to see the pre-mergers. Yeah, the pre-mergers episode. He's got a lot of depth in there. And he's singing, dude. You know what people do? I see those Disventure camp like in my For You page, and I've seen those people like ranking the Disventure camp songs. I don't know why they always leave out Alessio's. Like, it counts, right? Like, he sang for quite some time. Like, I think that made up like 2 minutes of the show, of the episode. I didn't expect his singing voice to be so good. Like, it's so good. No, obviously I expected it, but it was so good. It blew me away. Like, it blew me away. I love Alessio. Amelie, I like Amelie. Maybe here. Yeah, I like Amelie. If she didn't come back, if she didn't win the comebacks, she'd be like right here. Like right, just below, above. She'd be like at the top of neutral, above Rhea. But I love the game she played when she won the comebacks. Yeah, so good. She finally knew how to channel her ruthlessness in the right way, because I think she was way too ruthless and she went on too strong onto her teammates when in the first few episodes. Like, I think it was the wrong way to do that. Like, but she did that in the right way, and when she won the comebacks, like, she used her ruthlessness in the right way. Like, she's one that knows how to separate like her emotional feelings from the game and actually be strategic. Like when she used Logan as a vote, like to control him as her puppet. It's so good. I was like, now this is the Amelie that I know would like play the game. Like, I knew she'd play like this. Like, I've always wanted this. I thought that's how she would have played, but sadly we didn't see much of her after her elimination and until the comebacks. But I liked her gameplay. It was so good. But unfortunately, it's hard to love because I don't really like too much of like. I don't know. Because Fury is still aggressive, but I don't know. I think like seems fitting for her. Anastasia. I know Anastasia's another character that's very divided by the fandom, because I know some of them put her here, some here. Maybe neutral, but for me, I don't know, guys. Please, I think for now, I like her, but I can see her potentially being in the love category. We'll just have to see in the season 5. I was really thinking about it because she's a fierce competitor. I like fierce competitors, but she's a bit of a wild card, really emotional player sometimes, paranoid, and she reacts on impulse. You know, she doesn't think first. Like, she can be strategic, but when her heartstrings are tethered, then she reacts on impulse, and I think that's her biggest downfall. It can really affect her gameplay, like her turning her back against Natalia. I think that was too impulsive, dude. Like Spencer got to her versus elimination twice, and then she like completely shut down after her second elimination, dude. What happened to the fierceness? But I like that about her. Her ruthlessness, her eagerness to play, fierce competitor. She can be strategic, but a very strong, and she's very good as physical challenges. Like, I like that about her. And she looks good, dude. I like her character design, and I love her redesign even better. Hot take maybe, because I know some people don't like her redesign, like her hair especially. Benji. Benji up here. Yep, he's my first favorite of the season 4 cast. Maybe this is overrated because I know the fandom loves Benji, especially Trinji. I think that's their favorite ship. People think it's force, whatever. Okay, think what you want to think, but their chemistry makes sense to me. It does. It does. I love nerd tropes. Okay, I love the nerd tropes. Okay, I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. I love these tropes so much. I see myself a lot in Benji, like the awkwardness, the blurting out things that come out wrong. Because, you know, you don't think before you say it. Like, I was like Benji when I was young. Like, the things I say come out so wrong, even though like I don't mean it to come out that way. Like, my intent was pure, I swear. That is what I feel like I am with Benji. Like, I see myself a lot in Benji. Like, these people up in my favorites, I see myself a lot in them. I think you can kind of guess the kind of person I am putting this up in my favorites. I love his chemistry with Tristan. As during the Dares challenge, like in the train, I knew we'd get a lot of Benji and Tristan along as the episodes went on. Like, I know that was not the last of them, because when Tristan was the only one who like really appreciated his cosplay work, I know that was not the end of it. I knew we'd see more of it. Like, they were so out of place together. Like, dude, I love that. Oh, Diego is someone that's really hard to rank because I'm very mixed on him. He's definitely not a neutral for me. I like Diego, but this is a really hot take because some people dislike Diego. They hate Diego because he kind of like harassed Spencer, like kind of like went on too strong to Spencer. Like, you just met him, but he's a nice guy, dude. He's an explorer. I like people who have an appreciation. Whoa. I love people who have an appreciation for nature, for the world, for animals, for wildlife. I'm a big nature person myself. And because of that, I think I'm putting him in like... But where though? Yeah, there. That makes sense. But that's pretty much about it because he was an early boot. I just didn't like his whole thing with Spencer. That didn't make sense. Like, you just met him. How can you say he was like the most amazing guy you've ever met? Dude, what? But that aside, I like his whole explorer character trope. I love that. I love that. I love nature. I love wildlife. I love animals. Hannah, love. She's hard to hate. Oh no, but I know some people hate Hannah. But I forgot why, but I can see why. Yeah. But where would I place her? Like, somewhere in between Ashley and Rosa. Like, they're those just cheerful, happy, positive people. Like, good vibes. You know? But unlike Ashley and Rosa, she let the game affect her, and she got really cold and very brutal. So maybe behind Ashley. Behind Ellie? No. Okay, yeah. I like her character, like, very bright, very positive, very cheerful. I like those kind of characters. And, like, people who are very approachable. Like, honestly, I'd want to be, like, Hannah's friend in real life. And I know we'd be, like, good friends. Like, I love Hannah down. But I think the game affected her, and I didn't like her gameplays after that. And I was so salty with her game move. Like, dude, like her positioning in the game was never ideal. Like, I honestly think she should have went with Benji, like eliminating Jade instead of Ivy, because it got Benji out. Jade was the reason Benji got out, and Jade is also the reason she got out. and she made finale too. See, if you have voted Jade from that moment on, I think you would have gotten to finale. I think so, because I don't think Ivy's a comp threat. If you brought Ivy to like the merge, she wouldn't have like been a comp threat at all. She wouldn't have been a finale threat. Like, yeah, I have so much to say about season 4 because I think it's my favorite season. Hot take? I don't know, but I think I love that season. It was really fun to watch. Isabel. Oh, I love Isabel. Yeah, after Alessio. Yeah, there's some right. I don't have much to say for Isabel because I do love her. Like, she's unique. Like, come on, like, she stands out. She's a fucking nun in a game like this where you have to get your hands dirty. So that's very questionably it's morally questioning. Wait, it's very questionable on her morals as a nun because I'm a Catholic myself. So I always wondered how she'd get her hands dirty, and I love how, like, despite her being like a figure, a religious figure, you can still see how like very human she is. You know, I think that's very important to see. Like, we're all humans. Like, I love Isabel, and she played the game so well, and she was not emotional. Her idol play was so fucking hilarious. I wouldn't say it's the best move, but I thought it was really powerful. Like, she tried to make a statement against Anastasia. You know, really powerful. I loved that. But I don't think it's the best move. I think she should have just eliminated one of the other two. One of those two. Like, that's what I would have done. I wouldn't like to make big, bold moves and put myself a big target. Because I think if she just voted either Marissa or Anastasia, I think her target won't be as big because she's just trying to save herself, you know? Yeah. Ivy. I'm really sad about Ivy because I think she has more haters than she has fans. I'm one of her like 10 fans, dude. I love Ivy. Where though? I'm not so sure. Yeah, that seems right. Yeah, I like that. I'll put Ivy there. I think Ivy is another person that people misunderstand. Same as Ali, like, where people think her problems are small because she's privileged, but her problems matter too. Like, it's very real for her and it's very difficult for her because, you know, I think we should stop this thing where we should compare like struggles, you know. I don't get into that, like Logan, dude. That's a very different thing for Logan. I'm sorry, but I'll get to that. Ivy, like, her with her parents, you know, like being a nepo baby, she was needing to prove herself and finding it difficult because she's in the shadows and she wants to make something for herself, and she's never good at it. You know, she's never made something of herself in that game because she was the last pre-merger. But I like that she's very misunderstood. I can see why she's hated, and I like that she's hated because people don't see how misunderstood she is. She's a beautifully written character, very human. Like, Ivy's very, she's been very nice. I like her chemistry with Tristan especially. She's felt so sisterly towards Tristan. Like, she is Tristan's found family. Like, I love that about them. She's very kind to him, very helpful. Like, even let them stay with her as a roommate. Like, that's really nice, very helpful. Like, Ivy is that kind of person that will like put out her hand to help you, like, for those she really cares about. Very misunderstood player, Ivy. Jade, oof. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. I know she made it far. She's gotten development we can see why she's the way she is with her vitiligo. But I'm sorry, like, I think it's just me. Like, sometimes you can just kind of help how you feel. But, like, for some people like me, like, I feel so neutral about Jade. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. But it's hard for me to like Jade. I do like her chemistry with Spencer and Isabel a lot. But in that trio, I like her the least. Wait, do I? I don't know. We'll see. We didn't get to see much of Jade's. Oh, whoa. Hold on. We didn't get to see much of Jade's emotions. Like, we didn't get to see, like, enough rawness from her, you know. I just wish we saw more of that. Instead of being like a stoic strategist. She's like Alec, but gender bend. Like, she's like another version of Alec. Except we don't he see in love. I don't get that. I have to understand why she's in neutral. She did play the game really well, though. I have to give her that. She is by far the best strategist of the entire show. So maybe I put her in, like, yeah. She's really smart. She outsmarted a lot of these people. Has a surprising social game. Okay, well, now that all of this is coming back to me, guys, sorry, forgive me. It's been a while. But yeah, I just don't like stoic characters that, you know, don't show much emotion. Yeah, but at least Alec, I love his chemistry with Fiore. I see some softness in him, like, but he's so messed up for saying, like, how he wishes his son was more like Fiore. But at least we can see a lot of, like, his softness towards Fiore, like, ignoring what he said about his son. I like his softness towards Fiore, and, like, we get to see, like, how fatherly he can be. Like, that is like, whoa, okay, Alec. Logan, listen, bruh. This is controversial. I think Logan, I'll take back what I said about Ali, but Logan is by far the most controversial character in Disventure Camp. Like, I'm aware of how the fandom feels about Logan, okay? His game moves, how he made finale, how he's so weird for, like, the whole Spencer thing. Like, that's just harassment. I know that some people even, like, left the Patreon even. Like, it's so bad. But I like Logan. Okay, because we need to understand that despite all those reasons people hate Logan, he's still, like, as a person, he's very approachable. He's nice to people. He's friendly. Okay, we have to understand that before the games happened, like the show, Logan was always like this. Like, he was always nice. He looked out for Alessio, who was like the social outcast. Like, you know, he took him under his wing, like, looked out for him. And got sad that his friend got eliminated, but he was such a nice guy. It's just, okay, there's no one way to play this game, okay? Like, obviously your moves are gonna be, like, questionable, but at least he's figuring that out, okay? I don't think he's a villain. He's a morally great character done right. Is it crazy? Let me think about that. Do I want to take that back? He's complex. I would say Logan is complex. I just like how nice he is. You know, he's nice. I disagree with all his game moves. I've disagreed with, like, how he betrayed Ted's alliance, which got him voted out. I didn't mind him turning on Linda, to be honest, because it's biased, because I wanted, like, Anastasia and Natalia to make it further. I'm sorry. I absolutely hate the move he made against Zayn. Like, dude, what? But these things, I think they happen in like shows like this, like Survivor. You see betrayals like this happen all the time, and he never stands up for the gay move, but he does eventually, and he's figuring stuff out. But what I don't like is his thing with like the bronze thing. Like, that's fucking stupid, dude. Like, athletes are just so, I'm sorry, I don't know what I want to say, but the bronze thing, everyone's trauma dumping, and he's like, oh, all I ever did is get bronze. And we don't know why he was always like that. Maybe like his family's hard on him. Like, we never know why. Like, they didn't say, like, was his family ever hard on him for like getting bronze? Like, they expected him to get gold? Because I'm pretty sure he has a loving family, you know, like. But you know, good, like on his archetype, like, oh, the bronze medalist finally wins something. Like, I didn't mind that. I think it's done like pretty okay. Okay guys, please take it easy on me, okay? Sorry guys, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I like him a little bit more than Jade. I'm so sorry. Linda, oh, I love Linda. Linda's going straight to love. She's right there. Honestly, I thought Linda's placement suits her. Like, I knew she'd be a pre-merge beast, like a pre-merge villain, a pre-merge like person that causes havoc and chaos within her team. And I love that she never gets her footing in the game, because it's so like real. Like, there are people in games like this where they never get their footing, and I feel like Linda's a perfect example for that, and I love that we get to see that. But her remarks sometimes can seem so standoffish. Like her remarks towards Richard having a husband. Like, dude, what? Seriously? Like, seriously, Linda, I know you grew up in a different time, but you watch shows like this. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen all kinds of people. Like, come on, Linda, what? Oh, and when I say I'm really deep into the fandom, I mean I'm so deep, because I've seen majority of these like greetings as well, but mostly for my favorites. I haven't really seen like some of them. Kind of biased, guys. I see some greetings, and I saw a greeting where Linda said she does watch like reality show and she's seen gay people, but I forgot like why she was like that towards Richard. Marissa would be in like the four corner. Yeah. You know, honestly, I never understood Marissa's what Marissa had to offer for herself. Because, as we know, Marissa is only there to stall time for her enlistment, because, you know, she was figuring that stuff about herself. But I like that she's a good leader. Like, she looks out for her entire team. Like, despite, like, you know, how you have to obviously, like, vote each other out, she puts that aside and, like, knows how to work as a team. Like, she knows good teamwork, and she's a good leader for that. Like, without Marissa, I think this team would have like a lose streak, dude. Like, if they got Marissa out in the first episode, they'd be losing a lot, because they needed a person like Marissa to lead them, and I like that she was that for them. But most of the time, it felt like she was a plot device for Anastasia, and I didn't like that. Like, during the Isabel's idol play, I genuinely was hoping Anastasia was the one that got the boot, because I want to see how Marissa played for herself, you know, because she's always played for Anastasia, and she was there along Anastasia's side, a loyal companion, a loyal ally for Anastasia. But what would she do when Anastasia gets voted out? Like, who would she branch out to? How would she play for herself? You know, those are things I want to see from Marissa. That's why it's hard to love her, but I do like her traits, you know. Yeah. Oh, this one I have a lot to say about this because I went into every comment section, TikTok, YouTube, all that, okay, about Natalia. She's in faves. Okay, why is she my fave? I like that she's very Natalia seems like the kind of friends that I'm always around. Okay, maybe this is not very personal, but she does remind me of a lot of the friends I'm around because I'm very passive, so people like Natalia stands up for me and like looks out for me and cares for me, and she's just really nice and she gives good advice to her people she care about, and like I think those are what my friends are like. They'll be the ones that stand up for me when during the days where I can't stand up for myself, because I do stand up for myself, but there are days where I can't. So that's what I like about Natalia. It's crazy, and she was, my opinion is, okay, she was really fun to watch. Okay, she is also another person who had had difficulty having her footing in the game, like especially during merge, because she was questioning where she belonged, right? And that cost her demise because she made moves a little bit too late, and like really bad moves, I'd say. Sometimes like when she decides to go against Anastasia at a really bad time, but somehow made it far. Like, you know, she made it like past merge, which was so surprising to me, and that's what I like about her, is because she somehow floated her way into merge, and that is really funny. And because of that alone, she was in faves. I'm so sorry to those Anastasia fans, because I know there's a war going between like Anastasia fans and Natalia fans. But listen, I don't hate Anastasia at all, like, no. But Natalia is just my favorite. Like, I'm sorry guys. But I do have a lot to say about their feud, okay? I don't know if you all want to hear me out, but these are for the people that, you know, always argue about them. But I'd like to say, I was so confused where the campers got the idea that Natalia was a flipper. Like, she was known as the flipper when literally Logan was there and the team constantly flipping. Like, he's always flipping against his alliance. Very seldom he's voted with his alliance in that team. Whereas Natalia has always, and guys, rewatch like the episodes, like, trust me, she has always voted against, she has always voted with the girls. Not once has she voted against. The only time that she has voted against was where she worked with Anastasia to get Linda out. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no. I think, no, where she voted Anastasia into the tiebreaker with Linda, because I think that's what Anastasia wanted, to prove that she can eliminate Linda, you know, like whatever she has to prove to herself. But that's because I think it was agreed upon with Natalia and Anastasia. But before that, before the tiebreaker, she has always voted with the girls. So I don't know why people got the doubt, like they doubted her allegiance to the alliance. Like, she was always loyal with the girls, right? So I don't know why people are saying like Natalia the flipper, instead of calling that to Logan, dude. Like, what? She was getting that title instead of Logan, which never made sense to me. Why was the fandom saying that, dude? What else? Oh yeah, remember the rebellion that Isabel started? That was short-lived, where she got Natalia, Richard, and Logan to potentially work against Marissa, Anastasia, and Linda. Who orchestrated that? Isabel, dude. Like, what? Because obviously it's a very she'd be in a good position. That's why she started it, because she'd be playing both sides. And Natalia just strings along, you know. And then Natalia was like, oh, why did I think of that? She'd be in a good spot, because Natalia said Isabel was really smart for that, right? So like, I feel like Natalia was never the brains of any of this, so I don't know why people felt threatened by her. Because maybe she was some alternate, I don't know. And that was probably the only time where her loyalty was questioned, but it's not like anyone found out about it, because like, it's not like the girls found out, because only Isabel knew about it, and it was short-lived because she went to the other team. So, and I think the only time where people started questioning Natalia's loyalty was during the Linda and Anastasia tiebreaker, because, dude, she made it difficult for Anastasia, but obviously she won. But I think that is not to go. The reason why it was so difficult was purely because, like she said, was to get immunity, dude. Like, why would you pass up a chance on immunity? I think in her mind was not to betray Anastasia, but was to think for herself, even though the result was in the end to cause betrayal for Anastasia, which it seemed that way. But plain and simple, she wanted to get immunity. Like, they all do. Like, they all will do the same. Like, come on, Anastasia would do the same, dude. She would do the fucking same. If she heard that, I think. Maybe Spencer would be the only one who wouldn't do that. I think ally is more valuable, but I think Anastasia and Natalia would think the same. And ever since then, Anastasia was like really sus of her. But mind you, remember Marissa's first elimination? Natalia worked with Anastasia to vote Linda out. Was it Linda? No, to vote one of the guys out. Oh, to vote Spencer out. Yeah, to vote Spencer out. And Anastasia already questioned that Natalia was like suspicious, like sussed her out for flipping. But like, where did she get that idea from? She's always worked with the girls. So I never understood why she had the title of Flipper. Like, what? And the thing with the merge, Isabel and Jade had the idea of like restarting the Girls Alliance in the merge, and they used Natalia to get the girls to work together. You know how like Natalia is like that loyal ally that like as a she works as people's puppet. That's what she was like to me. Like, that's where her standing in the game seemed like to me, where she was an loyal ally that she'd do anything for her allies. So that's why she like, oh yeah, okay, so Isabel wants to start a Girls Alliance, so let me get the girls up, you know, because she's this, unlike Isabel, she's the more social player, right? Yeah, dude, sorry, I'm rambling because I need to state my case. And when they got, because during the merge, Benji was the first merger boot, right? And remember when the girls had the alliance meeting, and then I kid you not, literally, and I don't know if anyone noticed it, but no one seems to point it out. Like, nobody seems to point it out. But after that girls alliance meeting, Natalia and Hannah excused themselves and was left with Anastasia, Jade, and Isabel. And you know, they obviously had different plans, because I think their plan was to target Spencer or someone else, who I think Spencer, but then they had other plans, and I think that was to vote Benji, right? And mind you, Natalia was not present in any of this throughout the episode. So the Benji's elimination is in the hands of Anastasia, Jade, Isabel, and Zayd, because Anastasia and Zayd were working together already. And mind you, Natalia had no idea about any of this. Like, she was blindsided. Her and Hannah. Okay, are you guys following me? Hope you are. Okay. And then, obviously, Hannah was upset. And Natalia was surprised because they were played, right? So tell me why, when right before Natalia's elimination, like, obviously Anastasia was lying, right? She confronted Hannah and Anastasia, saying Natalia was the one who orchestrated it. Like, she said, guys, please watch this back, but she told Hannah that voting, she only, because Natalia didn't vote for Benji. Like, I think they voted for someone else, one of the guys. Natalia voted for one of the guys alongside Hannah. And then Anastasia said Natalia only did that for appearances, like for show, so that she can charm Hannah and get her under her wing. But mind you, this is a lie that Anastasia is saying, which is really smart on her. Like, she's manipulating Hannah. I think that is noteworthy, I would say, because that's how you play the game. Okay, I'm not hating Anastasia for that, but I'm stating that people didn't catch that what Anastasia was saying was a lie to manipulate Hannah. I think that's where people really lost it. Because mind you, in all of this, Natalia was just a puppet. That's why during her elimination, she couldn't get anyone on her side. Right? Because she was kind of messy. She didn't know where her footing was. And that causes her elimination, which was so unfair, I feel. Again, I am not citing anybody. I'm just stating that those that hate Natalia are crazy, because I think the Natalia and Anastasia beef are stupid. Okay? Because I don't know why people are hating on Natalia. Her anger towards Anastasia and like her is valid. Dude, like, Anastasia betrayed her. Which is not to say that Natalia did as well, but what didn't make sense to me was Anastasia sussing her out for being a flipper. Like, where did she get that idea from? She has never once voted against Natalia has never once voted against Anastasia until Natalia's own elimination. The only cause for suspicion was when Natalia made it hard during Linda and Anastasia tiebreaker. Like, what? Do you guys see where I'm coming from? Okay, I rest my case. But that's all I have to say. The beef is stupid, and Natalia's haters are dumb. Because they think she's like the mastermind, like, ooh, like they think her attacking Anastasia is like unfair or whatever, stupid, but no, it's valid. She deserved her karma. Like, Anastasia deserved her karma for what she did to Natalia, which I'm not saying is wrong, but obviously it's a consequence. Because Anastasia played the game really smart, which was to manipulate Hannah, which I think a lot of people didn't catch. Like, during that scene where Hannah and Amelie were talking to Anastasia to get them to vote for Natalia instead of voting for Spencer. Because the plan for that day, for that elimination, was Spencer, but they've changed it to Natalia. Remember that episode, guys, right before Natalia's elimination. A lot of people did not catch that what Anastasia said to Hannah was a lie. Like, she said to Hannah that Natalia planned all this, Benji's elimination, for show, and then, like, because Natalia was the only girl in the alliance that didn't vote for Benji, so like, it made Hannah believe that she could ease up to Natalia, but she could, because she was genuine. It was a genuine thing. Like, those two were blindsided, Natalia and Hannah. So what Anastasia was feeding into Hannah's mind was a lie. Y'all need to catch that. Like, I swear no one was catching it. Like, everyone was saying Natalia was a flipper, and I think it's very unfair. Natalia deserves justice. She deserves justice, dude. Richard, you know, Richard would be in love, but I think I'll put him in, like, just above Miriam. Yeah, The reason for this is because I don't know. Well, he's likable because he's old, he's wise, he's good, he gives good advice. He gives good advice. He always roots for the underdog. I like that about him. And that's so admirable, bro. But I think it's because of that his moves are, some of the moves he makes are like moves that I don't agree with. Like for example, when Spencer joined their team and all of the team members were very sus of him, right? And like he said, okay, let's give Spencer a chance because, you know, he's like outcasted, dude, you don't have time for this shit in games like this. Like if someone like causes like a stir in the dynamics of your team, vote them out. You know, you don't have time for all this. Like maybe Spencer could be a number you could use, but you barely know that guy, dude. Like why would you want to vote with Spencer? I don't know, like I think he should have stuck with his alliance with Natalia. Like he should have followed, like Logan and Richard should have stuck by Natalia's side, I think. I feel. And then they should have gotten rid of Spencer. You know? At least Natalia, because Natalia was willing to work with them. And yeah, I don't know. Richard was like really upset about all these things, but he's had a clean game. He's got good morals. I like him. He would be in love if he put all that thing aside, like root for the underdog. I think it's just that whole Spencer elimination, like where they wanted to vote Spencer instead of Marissa. I think that I don't know. I just didn't like that. But he's likable, obviously. Spencer, okay. Spencer at first was no. Let me think that through. Yeah. Spencer is in neutral among the Spencer, Jade, and Isabel trio. He's in neutral. I was thinking of putting him in like, he'd be like the last person in like. But like I said, I don't really like villainy characters that come on too strong. But he's not a dislike because we see softness in him. We see like some, unlike Nick obviously, we see some development, some writing stuff with his ex, yada yada, like why he's not ready for relationships and why he's the way he is towards Diego, even though like it's a mess. You know, I understand why it's a mess because I'm pretty sure he cares about Diego, but not the same way Diego cares about Spencer. But he just doesn't know what to do with it because I think he was still trying to like move on from his relationship. So that I understand. But for a person who's really smart and strategic, he's made a lot of dumb moves. Like example, voting off Diego. Like I think besides Jade, Diego is your most loyal ally. Like he had Diego and Jade by his side. He had the numbers, dude. But as soon as he voted off Diego, he gave the numbers to the Tristan, Zayd, and Ivy trio, the Vibe Tribe. He gave the number to the Vibe Tribe. So I thought I was like, is he stupid? Like he had Jade and Diego, he had the numbers. Like what? Like he needs to learn how to separate that. Like, but I guess it's a little fumble, but he still like bounced back with the Tristan blindside. But what I don't like is what happened after that. Like, dude, he made himself a big target on the team because he was the only one that voted for Tristan, right? And it seemed like he orchestrated it. So obviously the whole team's upset because the whole team liked Tristan. So that paints a target on his back. And I just don't like how like after that when Hannah confronted him and he rubbed salt on her wounds. Like, dude, are you good? he said, "That's the game, sweetheart." Like, yes, it's the game, but don't need to act so cocky. You already have a target on your back. At least apologize, talk nicely to Hannah, like ask for forgiveness. Say it's like at least like not like he doesn't have to be on Hannah's like good side, but at least not get on her like bad side. You know, like not make him public enemy number one. Like all these moves made him public enemy number one. You know what I'm saying? Like for a person with a good strategic game, what good does it do you if you have a horrible social game? At least Jade has a better social game. I think that's why I put her in like her social game was really good. Yeah, I moved her from neutral to like, otherwise she'd be a neutral like Spencer, but like what good does being smart and being strategic do for you if your social game is bad? Like his beef with Hannah was fucking stupid. Like no need to rub salt on her wounds, dude. Like saying what her position was like in the game. Like, dude, you made yourself public enemy number one. Like, are you good? What? But he's in neutral because he's not someone I dislike. Okay, but he could be here or even here. Like he could be either in life and love, depending how he plays in the fans versus favorites. Like I'd love to see him like change his game style. Like I still want him to keep his strategic gameplay, but less hardy, going too strong on others. You know what I'm saying? Like rubbing salt on wounds, like causing enemies on purpose. Like why would you do that? He was so cocky for that, dude. Like what? But I'd love to see less of that and more of the strategic gameplay, and maybe more development and writing. And for that, it could boost him up to a like and even love, depending how well it's executed. But I don't think he'd stay in neutral at all. Like I think fans and favorites will definitely make me put him up to a like. But we'll see. I'm rooting for Spencer. Hey M. I think out of like the returning cast for season 4, I am actually most excited about Spencer. Considering the two of my faves are literally there, I'm really excited about Spencer. Because I didn't like how he was. I want him to get redemption in season 4 so that I can like him. Ted, ooh. I think he'd be the last person in the love tier. He is the definition of robbed. He was there for comedic relief. I feel like he had a lot to offer. I think he would have ruffled some feathers if he won the comebacks. He knew how. I feel like as a poker player, I feel like his skills were untapped. I feel like his potential was untapped. Like I feel like poker players can really read into people, and we didn't get to see much of that. Like he did do that from the like earlier episodes, but it got him nowhere because Logan betrayed him. But if he won comebacks, he would have ruffled some feathers. Definitely, especially ruffled feathers with Natalia and Anastasia. Oh, he would have done that so well. Or like ruffled feathers with Jade and Hannah, stuff like that, you know. Like he would have been so good, cause havoc, cause chaos, dude. And he just like peacefully slipped by as others like caused distrust among themselves. Like he would have caused a lot of distrust amongst the Girls Alliance. Like I actually see that happening because the Girls Alliance is really big. And if Ted won the comeback, he would have like torn apart the Girls Alliance. I can see that happening. He would have. Like the ideal returnees would have been Ted and Marissa, because I think Ted could do what Amelie could have done, you know. But I'm not as upset about Amelie as well because she did play a good game. But I would have. But okay, I don't know how to say this. Sorry guys for stuttering. But I think because we saw what Ted could have done and was unfortunately robbed, he deserved that comeback. But because we didn't see what Amelie could have done, we just saw how ruthless she was. I was okay with her placement, like second. But that's why I'd rather Ted won comebacks instead of Amelie. I honestly didn't want Marissa to come back, but after seeing what she did for Anastasia's plot, as Anastasia's plot device, I wasn't really upset. But I feel like it belonged to people like I'd love to see how Alessia would have played. Yeah, maybe Diego. I don't know. But Marissa seemed fine, and I'd love to see Ted. Like, Ted was the best person to have returned. I'm not upset about Marissa. It's like Ted, and I don't mind who else would have come back. But Ted was the one I wanted to come back so bad. I love him. Tristan? Okay, big guys, this is overrated, but yeah, just behind Natalia and Benji because they were an early boot. Tristan was an early boot, but for the time that they spent on the show, they were a big comp threat. Like, they were so good in the dodgeball, obviously, the theater challenge, and I think Tristan's pretty good socially. Strategically, he wasn't they weren't really a strategic player, but they had the numbers with Zayd and Ivy, you know. Yeah, but I think their play, guys, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. This is something that's really new to me, like pronouns. I swear I'm trying. I love everybody, okay? I have no hatred towards anybody. I come in peace. But please give me like time to get used to this, because I think it's just like it rolls off. It's what my tongue is used to saying. Like, it rolls on my tongue. Like, I'm used to saying it like that. So I'm so sorry. Their placement seemed right for them. Yeah, seemed right for them. So I'm not really upset. But okay, about the Tringy thing, people feel like it's forced. Maybe it is, but it seemed right for them. Like, dude, they were the geekiest, the nerdiest people ever. Like, Tristan, like they said, don't be fooled by the black on black. It's just the aesthetic that they want to pull off, but it's within, like, in him is their personality is what makes them a real geek. Like, dude, they're so right for Benji, and Benji is so right for them. Like, they just complement each other so well, dude. They're the least problematic couple ever in Disventure camp. No quarrels. They're so cute. They're so nice to each other, and they're so awkward. Can I say again how much I love, like, socially awkward people are? Like, especially Benji and Tristan gets so awkward around Benji. Like, dude, like, they're so dorky, dude. Like, these people up here, I think that's all I have for my faves. So I think these are like my faves for the entire franchise. Yeah, Zayd will be in love. That's a very hot take, because I think Zayd doesn't have much fans. Like, I think he has more people putting him in dislike and neutral. But I love Zayd because of his association with Ivy and Tristan. Like, I love the Vibe Tribe. Come on, I love the Vibe Tribe. Their chemistry is so nice. Just behind Ivy. Oh, that's crazy. He's definitely not better than Fiore. Okay, yeah, that seems right. I love Zayd. Mama's boy, good chef. From the start, before the whole Logan thing happened, or before the whole Ivy's elimination happened, he was a very warm guy. Very silly, loyal ally to them, very chill. Even though he didn't do much, but he was there for like a good time, you know? Like, he was alright. I like Zayd. I love Zayd. His elimination was unfair. I love his alliance with Anastasia. I love how Anastasia softened and opened up to him. It showed how it's easy to talk to Zayd. Like, you know, he's a very easy, approachable person. Yeah, I think that's the kind of person Zayd is, you know. He'd cheer you out, he'd help you out, he'd stick out his hand to help. He'd offer a helping hand, yeah. Wow, I'm talking so much. I've never talked this much in my entire life, dude. Like, guys, come on. My throat is starting to hurt and I can't speak anymore. Like, can I speak? Hello? My voice is wearing out. Please forgive me. It's my first time doing this. I just wanted to try out. Derek. I like Derek. I think I'm putting all the hosts in like... Yeah, because many of them, they can't be in love because they've all done like really questionable things during their time, during their hosting time for the show. Like, come on, these two, Derek and Trevor, killed animals. Like, Diego would not stand for that, dude. Me being a nature lover, my love for wildlife, for animals, that's the only questionable thing that I don't stand by. But I love their story in All Stars. Like, they're such a cute couple, dude. Okay, yeah, maybe Trevor more than Derek because he's nicer. Derek's the one that likes to cause chaos, like a little bit more mean, and I don't like mean people. Maybe Crystal up here. Yeah, that seems right. Crystal and her two twins. No, I'm just kidding. They're not twins. Anyways, what the fuck am I saying? Crystal's a bit mean in season 2, but she was alright in season 2. I liked her story with Derek. It was fine. Yeah, pretty much. But Trevor and Derek's like story and like romance was so much more watchable than the entire show. Like, what? How is that possible? Like, Jake made it so unbearable to watch. Like, I'd rather watch Derek and Trevor, dude. Marcus, love. Nina, love. That placement don't suit them though. At least not Nina. There. Nina and Fury side by side. I love Nina, dude. She's the best staff of the show. Emily, like, yeah, I think the hosts are all alike because they've all done like really questionable things, like really like life-threatening things, like to animals and to the people, to the players. Like, Crystal did all psychological damage by exposing their secrets. Like, that's really bad, dude. Emily really threatened people's lives there. So did, like, I don't know, Derek did questionable things. So did Derek Jensen. Whatever, I don't care about him. I dislike him. I don't hate him because he doesn't have like a... He's not... His story isn't enough for me to hate him. Just maybe just like... Yeah... Whatever, he's like, kind of like Nate, whatever. Just like him. But Nina, oh my god, I love Nina. I like that one scene with like Trevor where he was crying and she walked up to him and was like, why are you crying like a little bitch? Dude, she's ruthless. She's like Fiore but as a puppet. Fucking hilarious. I wish we got more like Nina and Fiore scenes, dude. But yeah, sorry if this was so long, but yeah, that's my tier list ranking of the Disventure Camp season 1 to season 4 characters. Yeah, that seemed right. So this is how I feel about the characters. Sadly, I didn't get to do my reaction on Disventure Camp 1 to 4, but at least you see how I feel about the show, get a gauge of how I feel about the show and about these characters, and you can see who I'm clearly rooting for and who I want to see develop more in the fans versus favorites. So yeah, thanks for watching, I guess. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.